up, Mudpuppies?
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Cryptid Files, a podcast that talks about all manners of cryptids, folklore, mythology,
Files,
aliens,
Mormons,
ghosts,
Scientologists,
monsters,
things, everything.
food, spaghetti,
Lizards.
everything, lizards, lizard men.
We talk about it all. We talk about it all.
Conspiracy theories, sometimes aliens,
Conspiracy lizard
and
theories.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
We are your hosts, as always, Anthony and Charlie.
Yeah.
And tonight we are talking to you about elves.
Yeah.
So we're doing another intro video because there's so many different elves and
There
elven
is-
myths and elven stuff.
Look, I was expecting a lot. Okay. I was expecting a lot.
But not nearly as much.
Not nearly as fucking deep. I didn't expect to go so deep into everything as I fucking did. There is a lot to unpack with fucking elves. And they fit into that huge fucking category of fairy, and there's different cultures have talked about them in different ways, so it's really cool. It's cool to dive into shit like this. It blows my fucking mind, but yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm excited for this episode. This is going to be a good time. And this is going to lead into so much more.
Yeah.
So, this is cool. This is a really good lineup.
Yes.
But before we get into elves, I do have some paranormal news.
Okay.
It's another sad case of paranormal news.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
It's something that should be said.
It should be said.
So, many people know, many people don't. James Rink sadly passed away. So, James Rink is a big name in our field. Whether you believe in what he believes or not,
Yeah.
he is a very nice guy. He's got some out there theories.
Yeah.
But he is a pioneer in pushing for disclosure.
Yes.
About a lot of things. UFOs, paranormal dimensions,
Yeah.
super soldiers, all this kind of stuff. And again, there's a lot that he believes that I don't believe in.
Yeah.
But he still was a very nice,
He was a nice
entertaining
fella.
man.
Yeah, we had good times hanging out with him.
So I just wanted to say,
yeah.
rest in peace, and hopefully now he has all the answers he's been hunting for.
Yeah. And he's
On
on
the other side.
he's on a better planet.
He is on a better planet.
It's crazy how many people were commenting on there saying like, "Oh, he's with his aliens now." 'Cause
Yeah.
he was a big alien guy.
Yeah. James, this one's to you, buddy.
Yes.
Hope you're up there.
To James.
All right, now let's raise the mood back up.
Yes. Back
Talk
to
about
happy
elves,
things.
dude.
Elves, man.
Okay, so elves.
Yes.
Elves have been around.
Yeah, they have.
Elves have been around.
They've been around,
There are
man.
so many kinds of elves, so many cultures that have their own elves.
Yeah.
So many elven things. So, before we dive into elves, let's take a step further backward. I want to talk a little bit about fae.
Okay.
So, fae, these are...
It's a category.
Yeah, it's a category of thing.
Yeah.
And fae comes from not necessarily one culture specifically, but it comes from like the entire like Northern European kind of Viking-y, Anglo-Saxon, Nordic, Celtic, Germanic world.
Yes.
All of the paganistic,
All of the
world
Europe area
area of like Northern
going
Europe.
from Russia to fucking England.
Right. The Slavics, the Germanics, and all that kind of stuff.
To Iceland.
So,
or
yes.
whatever the furthest fucking...
So fae are magical nature beings.
Yeah.
And they are split between the Seelie Court and the Unseelie Court. The Seelie Court fae are the good fae. They're benevolent. They create flowers and life and help humanity. And you have the Unseelie Court, which are malevolent. They create disease and sickness and decay and evil things. They all possess magical powers, including glamour, which is almost like a shape-shifting power centered around beauty. So they can like create makeup and make themselves more beautiful to whoever they're talking to and all this kind of stuff. They can turn invisible, they can fly, and they can bestow and lift curses and diseases on people.
Yeah.
So some examples of fae that we have in different folklores are, of course, elves. We're covering them tonight. You have fairies. You have gnomes.
Yeah.
You have pixies, leprechauns, goblins, dryads, naiads, satyrs, which are sheep people, which are cool. Banshees, Dullahan, the brownies, sprites, kelpies. I already said nines and nixies. Rusalka, the boggarts, redcaps, changelings, fawns. These are all different, like, nature spirits, and they all fall under the fae banner.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we are diving into elves.
Yes.
Which are a subcategory of a category.
Yeah.
Because they're also, you dive into elves, and there's more elves.
Hey, there's more elves.
So,
there's more elves.
Yeah, so we are about to take you guys through one hell of a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So, Charlie.
Yeah.
You did all of the research on the planet about a bunch of cool elves.
About Nordic, mainly.
So let's dive into Nordic elves first.
Okay.
But first, let's talk about, like, where do elves come from?
Okay. So they are... That's kind of a loaded question. let me explain.
Where's our first elf?
Our first elf story, like the Proto-Germanic roots.
Yes.
All right, so this like the Albes.
Yes.
Is the first one, and they are like shining nature spirits.
Right, they're like semi-divine beings.
Yes, and they're almost angelic.
Yes.
If we're gonna make comparisons there for like modern understandings,
And that's what it seems to be. Most of the original elf stories are. They're like angel beings.
Angel beings. Yeah, divine. Yeah. They're not quite godlike beings, but they're some type of higher level spiritual.
Right. They're not
connective.
Quite.
They're like a bridge.
Yet.
It's like a bridge.
Right.
They're in between. They're not good or evil. They're powerful beings that are both capable of harming or helping. And for Norse elves, there's two main types. And I'm going to butcher these fucking names. So let me just start off by saying light elves and dark elves. So the first one is, it's spelled Ljosalfar.
So I'm going to give you one hint.
There's no L. You don't say the L.
In Nordic,
right?
The J is pronounced like a Y.
Okay. Ljorsvar.
Ljorsvar?
Ljorsvar?
We're gonna go with that.
That's the light elves. They're radiated, radioactive. They're radiant, they're inspiring, they're healing. Kind of. They're not necessarily always helping humans. Sometimes they work for the gods or the Vanir. Right. A lot of the times. They are the elves of Alfheim. And then we also have the Doklafar.
The Doklafar, yeah.
Doklafar. They're the shadowy underground
dark elves.
Dark elves. Also, there is a huge fucking debate about whether or not they are dwarves.
Because there's also the Svartal.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm gonna get this one. Svartalfar.
Which is a location.
No, Svartalheim.
Yes, Svartalheim is the location. Svartalvar is them.
The possible them.
The possible them. Yeah. Dark elves are commonly referred to as dwarves, right. But there is a debate right now on whether or not
Svartalfar are the dwarves.
Are actual dwarves.
Because that translates to black elf.
Yes. Or if it's something very similar. I'm going to start off with light elves. Let me start off with light elves.
Let's go with light elves and then we'll dive.
Because it's a lot simpler. So, Lholsafar. All right, I'm just going to say light elves. Let me
Lholsafar.
Yeah. Let me just start off by saying, I'm going to say light elves, and I'm going to say dark elves. Okay? And that is because I don't want to continue to butcher this fucking language. So, light elves...
Just wait till we get to the Celtic ones.
Yeah. Also known as bright elves, have the radiant presence. They've been described as fairer than the sun. They are well disposed towards mortals, and they are called upon by both gods and humans. They've been associated with healing, inspiration, fertility, natural light, and luminosity.
The Illuminati?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. No. And they live in Alfheim, which is one of the 9 realms. Here's the thing with the term, we've simplified realms into 9 realms. It's not like a very cut and dry, there's only 9 locations.
No, there's realms within realms.
There's realms within realms, there's things like that. So we've simplified it to 9 realms. Alfheim is one of them. Its home is located in the upper branches of the Yggdrasil.
Yeah, you did that one. That was
right,
Yggdrasil,
which is like the world tree.
Yes.
Is what everyone responds to, refers to it as. Yeah, it's positioned above Midgard, which is where we live.
Right.
And it's close to Asgard and Vanaheim. The realm is once again luminous and radiant, just like them, and it is ruled by a Vanir god, Freyr. Vanir. Yeah, Vanir. So Vanir gods are
nature gods.
Yeah, Norse gods, nature gods. They are not the war gods.
Right.
Like
Aesir.
Odin. Yeah, they're not Aesir. They're still gods in the Nordic religion. Nature gods. Not war gods.
Right.
Alfheim was given to Freyr as a tooth gift.
Tooth gift?
Yes. So it's given to a child after cutting their first tooth.
Oh,
it's like a coming of age present, kind of.
He got his first tooth. He's an adult now.
Yeah, no, it was like given to her. So there's a lot of possible origin and relations to the Vanir god. It's very unclear though. So there's strong suspected connections to Vanir gods and light elves.
Right.
Not only because it was given to a Vanir god, but they're very similar in that idea of nature and kind of nurture, caring.
And Freyr is their king, essentially.
Yes, Freyr is their king.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the spirits are aligned with Freyr. It's a blend of Vanir and mortal ancestry is another theory with them, right? And there's also been in a few poems that humans can possibly ascend after death and become a light elf.
Okay, so almost angels.
It's almost like a another possible afterlife.
Right, you're not necessarily taken by the Valkyries to I can't think of
Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
So you might actually just ascend to become
Well, Valhalla's very strict for warriors.
Right.
It's for specific, not even just any warrior. You have to die in battle, and you have to have been like a badass warrior too.
Right.
So in Norse mythology, there is it's not as strict as heaven and hell. You don't go to one place or the other.
You go somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of the realms are actually kind of like open doors.
Right.
So people have been in there.
Just wander around them.
Yeah, basically can wander around. Alfheim's one of the realms that's supposed to be like an open door policy, pretty much.
Okay.
So you can come and go to Alfheim as you please. Going up with Odin and Valhalla is not open door policy. That is,
you got to earn that shit.
Yeah, that is something that just happens.
Cool.
So, what do light elves do? Let's get into
Light
this.
elf stuff.
Light elf stuff. So they've been associated with healing way more than dark elves or dwarves, obviously.
Yes.
And there is Cormac's Saga. So there's basically this healing ritual that was created from this saga. So what happened was this warrior was wounded, and he was instructed to find a hill where the elves live, obtain a killer/slain enemy, smear the killer's blood on the hill, and create a feast for the elves from the slaughter. The elves, attracted by the blood and feast, their presence is believed to heal the wound. So
they eat this dead guy back to life.
Pretty much. So he used the blood of his slain enemies to attract elves, and their presence kind of radiated onto him and healed him. That's what happened in the poem.
Sounds counterproductive.
Yeah, well,
they ate this dead guy and healed the living guy.
So everything in Norse mythology is very give-takey.
Right.
Right?
Everything's equal balance stuff.
It's balanced out. And the elves specifically don't normally just go out to help somebody.
Right, they want something in return.
Not, like, they were like, you just have to attract elves, and their presence there will basically heal you. So the elves weren't coming to heal you. They were coming for their feast, and you're just healed by them. So there's some debate in that story of what he actually summoned. Okay. Whether it was actually light elves or dark elves, because he went to the hill of a mountain. Okay. Where they thought it could have been dark elves there that he actually summoned, and there was some type of, or dwarves actually wound up helping him without knowing. So the problem with the Eddas and the poems here is that mythology does not make a lot of these distinctions clear. No. They just tell you a story. They tell you a story, and you have characters, and you pretty much have to put it together yourself to figure out what happened there. So that's why there's a lot of debate in all this shit. Okay. Some elven names, like...
You gonna butcher some weird fucking words again?
Well, Alf, Alvar, Alfred, Alfred, Alvin. Alvin means elf friend. Oh. Yeah. Alfred! Alfred means elf council. And there was a King Alfred that was also a great enemy of Viking armies, which is super ironic because he had a fucking elf-themed name.
So King Alfred, if this is the King Alfred, was the king that unified England. Yes. So before King Alfred, he was just the king, I believe, of Northumbria. Yeah. And it was just Saxon kingdoms. Yes. And Alfred came in and conquered the Danes. Yeah. And in conquering the Danes showed the strength of his part of the Saxon kingdoms, and I believe married the Queen of Mercia, and like built, essentially just kind of like slowly but surely put England together. Yeah. Yeah. Which is cool.
Crazy.
Has absolutely nothing to do with elves.
No. But
maybe being the elf friend, elf council. Maybe he had elves tell him how to do it.
Maybe. All right. Now we're going to get into the debate. All right. So, Svartalheim, from what I've untucked here, is I believe Svartalheim is inside of Nidavellir. Nidavellir. Yeah. Realm of the Dark Elves. Dokkalfar.
Isn't it? No, not Nidhogg. I don't know.
So, this is Nidavellir, so one of the realms. Svartalheim, which translates to home of the Black Elves.
As in the Svartalfar.
Yes. So the realm is located underground, hidden from sunlight, often equated with the realm of dwarves, which is Dvergr. Verger.
Verger. Probably no D, just Verger.
Yeah. There's a strong connection between this area and Helheim because of the directional path to get there. It's north and down, which is the same directional path they've used to describe how to get to Helheim. Dwarves are able to enter their realm through any stone or mountain. So they're allowed to just like pass through stones and mountains to get there. And...
I have a buddy that enters realms by getting stoned too.
Yeah. I think everybody does. So basically this is how the area is described. It's deep caverns, underground halls, rugged landscapes, rarely illuminated at all. Dark. So very dark, pitch black, filled with minerals, ores, gems. There's great forges with magical artifacts. That's where they're all created. The dwarves have been known for their forging capabilities of crafting weapons and tools. The realm embodies craftsmanship and subterranean mystery. So dwarves could also be dark elves. Right. Is what the debate is.
Right. Are the dwarves the dark elves or the dwarves the black elves? And our black
dark elves. Yes. So
that's the thing. Yeah.
I am 90% sure black elves and dark elves is the same fucking thing.
So see, I'm of the mind that they're different.
Okay. So the term black elf only came up in Snorri's Prose Edda. Okay. That's also where the term Svartalheim came from too. Right. Before that, they just referred to every single creature as dark elves or dwarves, and it's kind of been used interchangeably. Right. And they've demonstrated the same characteristics throughout the stories too.
There is one small thing there though, and this also could be my own ignorance from I'm not nearly as versed as some of my friends in like Nordic mythology, but from what I do know and what I have seen and read and stuff, the dwarves tend to be neutral to uncaring when it comes to the Aesir, the Vanir, and and World of Men, whereas dark elves seem to be kind of antagonistic, which is why even though they're used interchangeably, it's almost like the dwarves, if they are dark elves, are like a sect. Well, dark elves, which is why possibly the black elf name came about to give them a distinction.
Yeah, well, there's also the theories that it's not just like dwarves is like the human race, right? There's different parts of the human race. There's different countries
which could be a type of dark elf.
Yeah, and there's
then lends to the possibility of black elves being a type of dark elf.
Yeah, but we've always seen throughout the poems the dwarves have never really been quite good friends to gods. Right. Sometimes very antagonistic to gods. Antagonistic to the light elves. So they've basically been famed for their magical creation. Mm-hmm. So some things they've made in Norse mythology would be Gungnir, which is Odin's spear.
Right. Didn't they make Mjolnir too?
Yes.
Thor's hammer?
Yep. Mjolnir is Thor's hammer, and Goldenburst, which is Frey's golden boar.
They made the board?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
You know Loki's a mom?
What? Yes, I know Loki's a mom. Yeah. Yes.
We'll dive into that on
another episode. We'll do that. Yeah. So they're basically craftsmen who mix magic with smithing, generally respected by the gods, not enemies. Gods sometimes trick or exploit them for their capabilities though. So this is one example of that. So this is the tale of Olivismo. Basically, this dwarf had this arrangement with Thor, and he goes to claim Thor's daughter, Peror. Thor mocks him for looking...
I don't even know what that letter is. And there's an O with an X on top? What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Don't know it.
Apparently that weird bunch of letters together is pronounced Thrud.
Okay.
Thrud. I don't know how a weird P and a...
Well, it's a P with a B combined.
Yeah, I don't know how that makes a TH sound. Yeah. And then I guess an O and an X on top of it makes a B sound? Yeah. A D sound? Thrud? Whatever.
Yeah. Thor mocks him for looking pale and blue. Right. And tricks him into staying topside until sunrise. Right. And this is the first example where we see that dwarves get turned to stone by the sun.
Like
the sun, yes. So the sun turns Elves into stone. This illustrates dwarves' vulnerability to sunlight. So this trait has varied across sources, but this is the first example that we've seen that, and it kind of got carried from there. Okay. There's also Another trait of dwarves for shape-shifting. So shape-shifting in dwarven lore, this is another story. Basically, Andvari, which is another dwarf, transforms into a salmon to escape Loki.
Okay. As one does.
Yeah, and Fafnir is another one. Acquiring cursed gold becomes a dragon to guard it. So also in a lot of Norse mythology, dragons are very much associated with dwarves. So dwarves have been known to shapeshift into dragons. So basically the key theme that we see with elves is the dark versus light theme.
Right. But
Right.
before you do that, I want to do a first here on the Cryptid Files.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anybody that knows more about Nordic mythology.
You can
than
get Matt on the line?
I'm going to call Matt.
Get him
We're
on
going to get
speaker.
him on here and see what he thinks about the Dark Elf Svardheim
Yes.
debate here.
I'm convinced that dwarves are dark elves. That's where I'm at right now.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the Cryptid Files.
You're
the first
live.
ever caller. All right, so you are like an encyclopedia of Nordic knowledge. Where do you stand on the dwarves are dark elves or dwarves are a type of dark elf debate?
Out of everything I've read, they've mostly called dark elves dwarves, so that's what I'm kind of going for.
So dark elves are dwarves. It's not dwarves
That's
are a
right.
type of dark elf.
From what I understand, dark elves and dwarves are synonymous with one another.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
That's how I've been grasping it too.
So you don't believe that black elves are a thing, that you think that just came from, like Charlie said, Snorri?
Well, Snorri, that's what the theory is. He may have created that term because it was a translation of dark elf.
Right. I mean, dark black.
That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, because I've never heard of black elf before, but it does sound like a loose translation of dark elf.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
Since Flat Island, it's most likely a dwarf.
yeah.
Cool. Thanks for being our first ever call-in guest on the Cryptid Files. All right, Matt. Thanks for your input.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take it easy, man.
Cool.
Okay.
So you heard it, folks. Dwarves are dark elves and dark elves are dwarves. There are no black dwarves,
Yeah.
which seems kind of racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all kind of light blue.
Yeah, they're not even black.
Yeah. I mean, all dwarves are like a bluish tint.
So we are continuing on our journey down the rabbit hole that is elves and all of their glory.
Yeah. And AJ's going to talk a little bit about Celtic.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit some more of the European elves before we dive into the Roman and
Indian,
Indo and all that kind
Greek
of stuff.
and-
So we also can move over from the Northlands, and we're gonna hit the Celtic side of things, Ireland. And so in Celtic lore, much like the original like Proto-Germanic Albis,
Yeah.
they had the Tuatha, which are very similar, semi-divine nature beings, and these actually were said to like populate the earth before humans rose to power.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like the thing, and then humans came about and started settling and populating and taking over and doing their thing. And the Tuatha kind of declined.
Yeah.
And became these things known as the, I think it's Seed, Sidhe, Seed.
Yeah.
And the Seed are lesser Tuatha that kind of like dissipated and started just living in all the hills. They continue to dwell there in the hills now that the humans have kind of taken over the world.
There's also the Liana Seed, who gives poets inspiration.
Interesting.
Similar to like, so Norse elves have also been known to communicate and give inspiration. So it's kind of like a possible mix onto that. A lot of this happened after Christianization too, for this specific one.
Okay.
So Celtic gods were reimagined as fairies, similar to how Norse elves may have downgraded to nature spirits in that sense. So during like the whole Christianization era there, instead of basically deleting religion, they reworked a lot of it to suit their philosophies. So they basically downgraded gods to spirits and like possible like folklore beliefs in order to put in Jesus, and Christianity.
That's the Celtic elven
Yeah.
lore that we've got. And you also have Icelandic elves known as the Huldra. These are also known as, this translates loosely to hidden folk.
Yeah.
And these are thought to live in the meadows and like grasslands and things of Iceland. And they're still very strongly believed in today.
Yeah.
Much like in Ireland, they still believe in like leprechauns that like live in the woods. Like the Hulda are like, you don't joke around about that. Like the Icelandics are like, Oh yeah, that's where the Hulda live. They're over there in that meadow. We don't go there. You don't go there. You don't bother them because they'll. And then the Germans have Alp, and Alp are elves. These are fucking evil.
Mm-hmm.
These elves cause sleep paralysis and nightmares. And what they'll do is they'll sit on your chest and just fucking pour dark energy into you to just
fuck
you in your sleep.
Fuck with you.
Fuck with you in your sleep.
Yeah. Basically, before Norse mythology ever existed, European, Middle Eastern, North Africa,
Okay.
all the way into Asia had very similar beings
Okay.
that may have helped inspire or connect lore. I don't like to say inspire lore as much as I say like to connect.
Okay.
Because I feel like people have similar experiences, and that's how these stories come about from all over. So it gives a little bit of validity to it. There's also some Greek roots here. So nymphs, dryads, and Sherites. They're not called elves.
Right.
They are conceptually identical, though.
Right.
So nymphs are radiant young female nature spirits tied to springs, mountains, and forests.
Right.
Dryads are tree spirits, and Sherites, graces is what they're called, I think.
Right.
Are shining goddesses of beauty and inspiration. They share with elves basically nature-connected, immortal, long-lived type of beings that are beautiful, radiant, semi-divine, inspire art and poetry, and are sometimes known to heal or punish. Okay. Right? Just like how we have dark elves and light elves.
Right.
And then we also have some Roman roots.
The Muses.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go over the Jenny Laki. They're protective spirits of places, hills, and springs. So the common theme I'm hitting is basically nature is the biggest thing. A lot of the earlier religions in the area were all based off of nature and explanation for naturally occurring events.
Right.
We also have lairs. Those are spirits of ancestors. They protect households and receive offerings. All of these religions, when you're interacting with either a god or a elf or a spirit, there's normally some type of offering or sacrifice that goes
it's a give and take.
It's give and take.
I help you, you help me.
Yes. And these are all known to be small, shining guardian beings similar to Celtic and Germanic elves. So there's also the Baltic and Slavic roots. So the Baltics have these things called lames. They're beautiful female fairies.
Llamas?
Lames, I think.
Oh, okay.
Laumes, right? I could be saying this completely fucking wrong. Yeah. They're beautiful female fairies. They live in nature, sometimes benevolent, sometimes dangerous, like we see with fucking elves. They steal men, protect children, and cry a lot. Yeah.
Sounds like some people I know.
Yeah, very elf adjacent. They're not technically fucking elves, but they're so close to like the imagery, right? So the Peri are beautiful winged spirits. They're benevolent, luminous beings of nature and air. They intermediate between angels and humans. So once again, we have that balance area.
A semi-divine.
Semi-divine beings of nature and air in between humans and angels. They later turned into fairy-like spirits in Islamic folklore, but they're super close to the European imagery from I'd say the 1800s onward. And then we have in the Finnish, the Sami roots, they have these things called Haltijas or Haltita or Haltiat.
Okay.
They're guardian spirits of places, forests, homes, can appear
Finnish,
human.
so it's Haltiat.
Yeah, Haltiat. Yeah. Human or luminous and protect or punish. And so basically all of these beings that I just talked and gave brief
nature, spirit,
glow in the dark, and they either help or punish, but they're not too involved. And they're in an intermediate zone. They're divine, but not divine. They're something special. They're something above us.
Sealy Court or Unsealy Court?
So now modern elves.
So before we get to modern elves,
yes,
we have Old English elves.
Okay.
Now Old English elves debated whether or not they were invented by Shakespeare or made famous by Shakespeare. They pop up primarily in Midsummer Night's Dream and then continue on a lot of his works. Again, it's debated whether or not he invented them and then they became part of folklore because of his plays, or if they were already folklore and then he made them famous because of his plays and people researched. But in that light, elves went from these guardian, spiritual, magical things and became these kind of prankster spirits.
Yeah.
So these elves were no longer protecting the forest or sacred groves or anything like this, like the light and the dark side kind of things. These were just whimsical little forest people that like to mess with humanity in a mostly harmless kind of way. It's just kind of like they like to poke fun at us. So they'll
Yeah.
steal things that aren't really worth anything. Like they'll steal your spoon so
Yeah.
you can't make your soup.
It's
Or
fucked up.
they might pour cold bath water into your bathtub when you're not looking. So you get in the bath and it's cold. And you're like, God damn, elves
Sounds like
again.
gnomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll take your favorite hat, or they'll steal your socks while you're sleeping, things like
Yeah.
that. These elves aren't evil, but they're also not good. They're just annoying.
Like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us into our modern day
Okay.
Santa Claus, Keebler elves,
Yeah,
and
so
Rice Krispie treat elves.
there is a fucking why I noticed, a big split, a fork in the road. So Tolkien took Norse mythology and took those elves and dwarves and kind of interpreted them into his own design.
Right.
And then there was a whole nother split where
Right.
we suddenly have these toy makers.
Right.
And where the fuck did this come from?
So let's focus on the left side of the Y first, and let's talk about the fantasy elves. Because we have the Tolkien elves,
Yeah.
and the Tolkien elves have led to the World of Warcraft elves, the
Yeah.
Warhammer elves, the Elder Scrolls
D&D.
elves, the D&D elves, like, and they all have pretty much the same
Traits.
traits and base,
Yeah.
with just different lore behind them.
Yeah,
right?
the-
They are
the-
nature-based, magical beings,
Yeah.
fair-looking, long lifespan kind of thing.
I
And then
think
there's
the-
a little bit of the mechanics that works a little different.
Yeah, the biggest difference I've noticed with like the Tolkien idea has been the intermingling of the worlds is very basically he took all these separate worlds and intermingled them. And
Right.
it was like, okay, mortals, elves, dwarves are all gonna live what's the word? Synonymously?
Symbiotically?
Symbiotically. The same fucking time. They're all gonna live together.
Right.
Okay? There we go.
Harmoniously for some level. And that carried through to every level of modern
Yeah.
fantasy now, too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now Christmas. These are the
Now we're
newest
on the other side of the Y.
These are the newest elves. The newest kind of elves
this
we have
is like
experienced.
19th century.
This is from 150 to 180 years ago.
Right.
Pretty much. They are not Norse light elves.
They're not magical beings of magical magic.
Yeah.
They're magical beings of fun magic.
Yeah, they're not Tolkien elves. They're not,
So
archers
these
in the
kind of
woods.
sound like they took a little bit of the Old English whimsy elf
So
kind of route.
I found a lot of Scandinavian household spirit roots in this.
So
Right.
less elves and more
Yeah.
brownies
All right,
and
so
boggarts and shit.
let's start at the beginning with this.
This is again why we started talking about Fae, because
Yeah.
they have led. It's the overarching Fae that have led to what's modern elves.
Yeah. So the Scandinavian roots, basically, this is the closest historical thing I could find
Right.
to modern elves. And they have these things called the Nisse or the Tomte in Sweden. So
Okay.
Norway, they say Nisse, and Sweden, they call Tomte.
Right.
They're small, bearded, gnome-like household spirits. They wore red caps
Red caps.
and protected the farm. They expected offerings of food, often porridge, could punish you if you disrespected them. They lived around barns, stables, and fences. They're known for their strength, magic, and temper. They were not merry toy makers.
No.
No,
But
no,
they were
no.
little tinker boys.
And they were dangerous if you offended them.
Sounds a lot like brownies
Yeah.
from, I believe, England and or Scotland and or Ireland. I think of the British Greater British Isles kind of thing, because
Yeah.
brownies are very similar. They're little house kind of fairy elf things
Yeah.
that will be benevolent if treated well.
Yeah.
If you leave them cheese and cookies and sweets and things
Yeah.
and milk and stuff, they will fix buttons on your clothes, sew your shoes back together. They might wash the dishes for you. They might clean out the hearth, all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But if they're disrespected, they'll do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
They'll start pulling buttons off your clothes. They'll
fuck with you.
They'll make your food go rotten. They'll
Yeah.
make your dishes dirty. They might pee in your hat, like this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So
Very interesting. These guys were small magical helpers associated with winter and also magical destroyers.
that'd be good.
And when Scandinavian immigrants came to America in the 1800s, they brought this idea with them. Now,
And Coca-Cola
The-
and Santa Claus.
I'm going to talk about Coca-Cola. I'm going to talk about Coca-Cola. So we have a turning point in 1823. A visit from St. Nicholas. This poem, better known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," invented most of our modern Santa lore. It's also the first time where Santa was ever described as small, jolly, and elf-like. The poem literally calls Santa a right jolly old elf. So I found that super interesting. This is the entire fusion between Santa, magical Christmas being, and the concept of elves. At this point, Santa has become an elf. So, in the 1850s, Santa's helpers were born. American newspapers and magazines began describing elves working for Santa. The biggest one was Harper's Weekly in 1857. A printed illustration showed tiny elves making toys in Santa's workshop. This is the moment Christmas elves, as we know them, officially appeared. So they talked about Santa being an elf in this poem, and then 30 years later, a newspaper made when they were first started putting more illustrations in newspapers like this, they did an actual illustration with Santa working in a workshop with fucking elves.
Look at this. We have an entire holiday lore created by a newspaper comic.
Pretty much. No, pretty fucking much. And they were portrayed as short, childlike, mischievous, but friendly, and they were dressed like Victorian fairies mixed with the Scandinavian tomte.
Right.
And then, in the 1850s to 1900s, Europe and America became obsessed with flower fairies, tiny winged spirits, gnome spirits, and children's fantasy stories. So during that time period, basically people were all into fucking spiritual shit anyways, like nature. And so these stories just started causing these huge waves. Mainly they think because in America at that time, shit was really fucking boring and people needed something. Right. Something. This is right after, like, well, it's during Civil War period, or right before, 1850.
1850s?
Should be right before, during?
When was the Civil War?
History.
American Civil War was 1860s.
Yes. Okay, so right before the Civil War is breaking out, so people were like on edge for this period of time too. Right. Because of this cultural wave, Christmas elves were cute, small, whimsical, and associated with magic and innocence. They lost all dangerous traits. Yes. They stopped telling dangerous elf stories anymore. Yeah. And then 20th century, 1930s and 1960s, Coca-Cola locks the fuck in.
It's so wild to me that Santa Claus, the most iconic holiday figure, was invented by a soda company.
Big fucking red suit.
Sell Coke.
Red suit. Red suit. This is where it came from, right? Yeah. Coca-Cola cemented the modern image of Santa, and companies like Sears, Montgomery Ward, and Macy's started running these massive Christmas advertising campaigns. And they were using toy-making elves, helper elves, workshop scenes, Santa's village imagery, right? By the 1950s and 60s, Christmas elves became standardized in green outfits, pointy hats, toy makers, cheerful Santa-like, and companions to Santa. People were actually referring it to Coca-Cola's Santa at the time. Coca-Cola pretty much made fucking Santa Claus what he is.
Invented Santa Claus.
Yeah. And then pop culture seals the deal. So as we know, people love to monetize off shit like this, right?
That's why you have things like Elf the movie.
Yeah, well, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer came out in 1964.
Oh, with the elf that wants to be a dentist.
Yeah. The Christmas Elves in 1932 was a short from Disney they made. Rankin Bass cartoons, and then Elf in 2003. Countless books, malls, branding, and decoration. Now we have just a fucking complete disconnect from any form of Norse mythology with elves, and fucking have these little fucking toy makers here.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Coca-Cola. Where did these elves come from? They came from Coca-Cola. No, they came from the Scandinavian spirits, pretty much. And I believe they were used, similar beings were like used in that original poem to kind of like show a connection there, because there's a lot of ties in Christmas and Norse traditions. Right. And so this kind of fit the bridge there.
Right. And we've also seen with a lot of legends and folklore that come with different settlers coming to America and becoming, I don't want to say bastardized versions.
No, but altered versions of the Snallygaster.
I was going to go, exactly. That's exactly where I was going to go with it. You had the Snallygaster, where it was a German folklore that means fast ghost. It was like this.
And then now it's a giant chicken with tentacles that come out of his fucking mouth.
That's racist.
Yeah, right? That's racist. So that hunts slaves.
It's another one of those where they took something that you said it was Scandinavian, right? Yeah. Came over, have these little house spirits. English come over, have their little house spirits. Yeah. And it gets dumbed down from, hey, they might screw your life up if you're not good to them, to, yeah, they make toys and make cookies and trees, and they're really good at puffing rice.
Yeah, and people always like, well, how did this story come to America? I'm like, this story was already in America. You have to understand this. Like, especially this time period, most of our population's still 100% based off immigration. Okay, that's elves.
That's elves.
That's elves.
Gay creatures from northern mythology.
Yes.
What it boils down to.
That's what it boils down to.
Now let's go over some famous elves.
Yes.
So, we have Puck,
Yes.
who is a mischievous trickster elf from Midsummer Night's Dream, and again, then continues to pop up in English folklore, which, again, it's debated whether or not Puck was created by Shakespeare or made famous by Shakespeare. You have, I'm going to butcher this, Erlkönig? Erlkonig? Erlkönig? It's German.
Sounds like it.
This is a German elf king that would steal children. Then you have Volund, which was a Nordic elf blacksmith. And here's where it gets a little dicey.
Okay.
It is not explicitly understood whether he is a light elf or a dark elf.
Yeah.
Because he predates any of Snorri's writings. And old Nordic mythology
Yeah.
didn't have that distinction yet.
Yeah. So for that's why I see the connection for dwarves, though, because light elves we're not known for their crafting.
Right.
We're not known for minerals, ores, metalworking. Even the gods, when they wanted something made, they went to the dwarves.
Right, but they also normally would have to capture dwarves and force them into servitude.
Well, they would trick them normally.
Right. It was never under pure intent, like, hey, can you make this thing for me? And the dwarves were like, sure. It was like,
there
hey,
was
I've got a turkey leg.
Yeah.
And they were like, here's a ring.
There was, yeah, but it was always like a little give take. It was never much.
But what makes this story specifically like eyebrow raise?
Yeah.
He's known to be benevolent in his crafting and his skill and his just entire being. He was an ally to the Aesir and the Veneer and all that kind of stuff. He wasn't. They didn't have to trick him into things. They didn't have to do it. He was just like, yeah, I'll do it. You want a thing? Here you go.
Yeah.
I made this necklace or this fucking golden toilet paper roll, like whatever the fuck you want. So that's where, again, you start to get that kind of like, are dwarves and elves separate? Are they the same thing? Is it a translation problem? Is it?
Yeah.
Are we all just confused? Are they all doing the thing? So it's kind of neat. Then you have, of course, Freyr, which we touched on a little bit earlier. He's the Norse king of Norse god, who is the king of the elves. He rules Alfheim.
Yeah.
Then you have Oberon and Titiana, who were the English king and queen of the elves. That again debated if Shakespeare invented, and they became folklore through the Shakespeare Midsummer Night's Dream.
Wait, I thought Freyr was a female.
Freya.
Freya. Okay,
Yeah,
Freyr.
Freya and Freyr, who's also sometimes just Frey.
Yeah.
But I believe they're brother and sister. And then, so Oberon and Titiana were the king and queen of the elves. Again, debated whether Shakespeare invented them, and then they became folklore because of Shakespeare becoming so prominent, or if Shakespeare just made them famous and they were already folklore.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. And then you have this, I'm going to butcher the shit out of this, is a Scottish word. Nicnevin? 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 Nicnevin?
Sure. I don't know what you're looking at me. I don't fucking know.
Scottish, aren't you?
No.
Irish?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was
it's a big difference.
Oh, yeah, you both wear plaid underwear. She was the Scottish elf queen.
Yeah.
And then of course you have Buddy the Elf from that movie that I don't like.
You don't like Elf?
I can't stand Will Ferrell.
Really? I love Will Ferrell.
I cannot. His movies he bothers me.
Damn.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
All of his movies? Step Brothers?
Step Brothers is the only movie. You know what's wild?
The other guys?
I can't stand Will Ferrell or that other guy that's in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
It's the only movie I like them both in.
Do you like...
And the Lego movie, but that's just because it's his voice.
Do you like the other guys?
I really don't. Which sucks because I really like, what's his nuts?
Marky Mark?
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
So I watched it because Marky Mark was in it, and I was like, I can get past Will Ferrell, but I couldn't. I didn't like it. I hated his entire, short run in The Office. I thought I didn't like him in The Office. Was awful.
Yeah.
I just don't like Will Ferrell, man. He's a one-trick pony, and it's not even a good trick.
I like Will Ferrell.
He just yells a lot and is annoying.
I like Will Ferrell. So does a whole lot of people. So sometimes you're wrong. It's okay.
Now, let's get into how would you fight elves?
How would I fight elves? Fuck, dude. Depends on the type of elf.
So let's break it down by category of elf.
Yeah.
So let's go with old school, pre-Nordic, pre-Proto-German nature spirits. Things like dryads, nymphs, naiads, pixie, fae elves.
Okay, I would try iron.
Would probably work.
Yeah, I would try iron.
Probably fire.
Fire, salt, shit like that.
See, I don't know how effective salt would be, but
my first thought would be iron.
100%. I definitely iron, definitely fire. They're nature spirits. Burn them.
Yeah. Poof. Fuck shit up.
And some of them are known to things like, I believe, said naiads, dryads. One of them will turn into a tree.
Yeah.
If you look at them too long and weird things, like might be the nymphs. I forget. It's one of the Greek ones.
Yeah.
Turns into trees. So you might just have to stare at it.
Yeah.
And you just, oh, there goes my problem.
Yeah. And then for dark elves.
Yeah, let's go. Now let's go Proto-German and Nordic and all that, where they're actually, you have the light elves, the dark elves, and the dwarves and things. So how would you find a light elf?
So light elf, the same process. I would go with a old elf. I'd go with iron. I'd go with fire because they're nature spirits.
Yeah.
Very benevolent.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would try that. Honestly, you just destroy a forest and fuck with it. But really, they're not something you would be fighting much. You just stay out of their business, and then you'd be fine. Now, a dwarf or a dark elf, I think you'd have to try to confuse it. I would trick it into basically coming to the surface with me and then see if it turns to stone from the sun. Like they did like Thor did.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
and Christmas?
Oh, well, before we get to Christmas elves, let's get into the mischievous elves. Things like the brownies and the red caps and the English elven fairy people.
I'd have one person hold the top of his head like a fucking football, and I would run up and punt it through a fucking field goal. That's what I would do.
All you have to do is give him some cheese or something. Like, I'm pretty sure...
You ain't getting shit from me, buddy.
I'm pretty sure Puck is known to just like milk.
Yeah.
So just give him some milk.
Well, hopefully there's some milk through those fucking field goal posts.
Jesus, man.
You're getting fucking kicked. I'd punt the fuck out of them. Now, Christmas elves.
Yeah, how would you beat up a Christmas elf?
Well, the big guy, I just like the chimney. For little toy makers, I just think I could straight up take them. Just making toys. They took all the scary shit out of them.
Sure, you just go in there and just start.
I just start kicking ass, dude. It's like that question: how many 9-year-olds could you fight at one time?
Yeah,
lot. Fucking a lot.
I wonder if there's a quiz for that.
Yeah, I could take a lot of them. I think it would be pretty fucking easy.
That sounds like you could take just about every elf.
Yeah.
Well, how about fantasy elves? This is where it gets tough. Like, you think you could take Legolas in a fight? Or Elrond?
Yeah.
I don't think you could beat Legolas.
Yeah, I could get him. I'd get him.
Motherfuckers, he survived the battle of Minas Tirith and the battle of the Blackgate.
Yeah, but could he survive the battle of Charlie?
And the battle of Isengard.
But could he survive the battle of Charlie after 3 PBRs and 2 shots? That's the real question. I don't know.
He put an arrow through your eye twice.
Okay, does he have a gun? Get shot. You're fucked.
I don't think... he was fine against fucking Uruk-hai crossbows. I think he'll get out of the way of your bullet just as
A
fast.
fucking crossbow and a shotgun's a bit different.
Yeah, but are you a good shot when you're fucking hammered?
A shotgun? That's a pointy shoot. That's not even aim.
Yeah, pointy shoot, but if you pointy shoot too far away, you're gonna get him peppered with a bird shot.
Yeah, no, fuck.
He's gonna be like, ow!
He will not be like, ow. He'll be like...
I don't know, he's an elf. They're pretty elfy.
Yeah, no, he'd be fucked.
Now, do we get... Okay, so here's where we're gonna... A little bit. Do we consider...
Yeah.
Tolkien dwarves elves? Because Nordic dwarves are elves.
Yeah.
But by the time that we get to Tolkien, are they separate entities?
They're separate.
All right. How about World of Warcraft elves? Could you fight a night elf?
Yeah.
What about blood elf?
Yes.
What
All
about dark elf?
Yeah, they're all pussies.
What about... I don't know enough World of Warcraft. There's only 3 elves I know.
All right, so you know, like when you make your characters and like things like Baldur's Gate, when you select elf, you notice there's no like yoked giant elf you can make. They're all scrawny.
Yeah.
Easy days.
But it doesn't mean that they're faster than each other.
What?
They're faster than you.
I don't give a shit.
Motherfucker can throw a knife across the room and hit you in the forehead.
Faster than a bullet.
You have to get to the bullet first.
I already have it.
I don't think you're
You
gonna...
said I could be prepared for these.
I don't think you're gonna draw fast enough to not get
You said I could be
elven
prepared
knife
for the...
through your forehead.
First of all, my forehead's elven knife proof.
Your
So I'm
forehead is
fucking
pretty
set. But yeah, no, dude, I'd be fucking fine fighting those fuckers. They're done. Dunzo. Squashed. They're a fucking puree when I'm done with them. Pour them down the garbage disposal.
Jesus Christ. All right, could you take a Warhammer elf?
I'm not too experienced with Warhammer like that.
They are way more monstrous.
I don't know their weaknesses.
You remember the Ents from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Take Ents and make them more human-sized. Like, the elves in Warhammer are very much like tree people.
Okay.
Some of them are more human than tree, but they still have that kind of very brown, like not like bark like complexion and tough skin and like tree hair or stuff. So some of them are just straight up like tiny ants.
Oh, well, guess what? Call me a carpenter. About to fucking break you down, motherfucker. I would,
Not sure how that had to correlate with carpenter, but good
because
job.
they're made of trees. Carpenters work with wood.
Yeah.
And sawn and shit.
Should have gone with lumberjack, but good try.
Yeah. Turn them into a bench. Yeah.
All right, now what about, you think you could take the elves from Elder Scrolls? Like the Dunmer and the Altmer and...
Dude, yeah, I fight them all the time.
But as like a character from Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
We gotta be Charlie in this fight.
Yeah, but you can fight them pretty low level.
As a character in Elder Scrolls. I'm talking about Charlie.
Bro, I don't even use any powers to fight them in Elder Scrolls. I could totally take them out. You just gotta stand in a corner, and then they can't hit you, and then you just smack them around.
What are you talking about?
You gotta glitch them.
I think you would get one fireball to the face and be over. You're not fireball proof.
How do you know? Have you ever shot a fireball at me?
No.
Try.
I'd rather not.
You can't. Hence me being fireball proof.
Oh my god, Charlie.
Yeah.
What about D&D elf? Can you fight a D&D elf?
Yeah, it's easy. They're fine. I think I've beaten D&D elves as a fucking human bard, so I could totally take one out.
Let's backtrack a little bit, because we totally forgot to talk about house elves. Because here's a fantasy elf that goes in the opposite direction. For once, this is a fantasy elf that goes with the tinkery, fixy, helpy, but also kind of slavery-y thing.
Yeah, so I think those have been depicted less based off of Norse elves and
So
more
of the English elfy kind of.
honestly more based off of Santa helper elf.
Yeah,
if you ask me, because they were.
I was about to ask when J.K. Rowling was born, but fucking Harry Potter 1.
Yeah, Harry Potter way after.
way after Santa Claus was
way after Santa Claus was a regular. But I kind of think maybe she got the translation from the idea of elves serving and helping.
Yeah.
I think everybody has thought the idea of Santa being a slave owner a thing, because he kind of fucking is.
He feeds them cookies, they're happy.
He does feed them cookies, I guess, yeah. As long as they work.
And don't want to be a dentist.
Futurama did a really good depiction of the starving elves.
With Santa being a robot that doesn't know how to like distinguish between naughty and nice and just kills everybody.
Just kills everybody, yeah.
I love Futurama.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the greatest Christmas specials ever made.
Yes, no, 100%. I think so too. But yeah, that's elves.
Go fucking like, subscribe, and find us everywhere else. Go check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitch.
So guys, we have a new merch store where we have all of our merch. Yeah, all our merch. We've been getting some cool sales. People are actually liking the gear. We've got snapbacks people were asking for a long time. We've got a whole duffel bag that you can use for ghost hunting.
Yoga mat.
We've got shirts, sexy bathing suits, swim trunks. We have sweatshirts. We have jackets.
We have jackets. Yeah, we got plenty of stuff coming. We're kind of banging them out a little bit at a time because it is kind of a process to make this. This is a lot harder than it was on designs. But it's better. Better quality.
Better quality stuff.
And more stuff. There's so much stuff in here. So same thing, like the way we take requests in the Discord for what you guys want to see episode-wise. Hop into Discord and tell us what you want. If there's a piece of merchandise that you want. If you're like, man, I really want a squonk hoodie. Fucking let us know and we'll put one together. Or, god damn it, I wish I had a thong with Mothman on it. Let us know. We'll get on it. Yeah. So give us.
If you make the fucking thong request, though, you better fucking buy it.
Yeah. We do expect. We know who buys it. So thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Charlie's mom. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Kenny.
Ken.
and other people.
So thank you guys who has bought our merch. Thank you, Charlie, for buying some merch for us.
Yeah.
So
I figured it would only be fair if we bought some of our own merch too.
So yeah, go check that stuff out. If you want anything specific, let us know in the Discord. Same thing. We'll get it together as soon as we can. Make sure you're following us on all our socials. Go check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you are following us there, give us a review. We really, really appreciate it. It helps us out so much. We're in a saturated market.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of ghost, cryptid, spooky podcasts out there. And the only way we're going to get more people to see us is if we have the highest rates and the most reviews. So if you really want to help out the show, that is the easiest way to help us out. Go give us a rate on Apple Podcasts, rate us on Spotify, give us a comment, give us a review. If you do give us a review or a comment, we'll read it out on the next live episode. We don't have any for tonight, so we'll do it next week if you give us one. Join us in the Discord. It's the only place to take requests. Anyone else, just gets suggestions. But if you put it in the Discord, I will put it on the schedule immediately. But other than that, yeah, just join the Discord for the fun, man. I do a monthly poll about our cryptids. Again, we take requests. You get a sneak peek at our schedule. You're the first one to know any news going on about what episodes are on that night, what's going on in our store, what's going on out in the cryptid world. We share memes, we share pictures, we share stuff, chat. There's a chill chat. Charlie was in it the other night.
We talk about the government.
Talk about the government. Charlie,
yeah, sometimes I go in the chill chat when I'm playing like World of Warcraft. So if you guys just want to come talk, we just hang out in there and talk.
Yeah, man. Do that. If you like books or movies, you can follow me on Goodreads and Letterboxd. I have DNR lists about cryptid stuff, ghost stuff, all that kind of stuff to give you some inspiration for things that you want to watch or read. And I think that's it for our social media and everything else.
All those little donations you guys have been giving us and the purchases of our gear have really been helping out.
And even just watching, just hanging out. We appreciate you guys being here. Thanks a lot, Matt, for being our first ever call-out guest. I think we can make that happen a little bit more often.
Yeah, we should do that.
If we know a guy, we should call a guy.
Yeah.
So if you want to know a guy and call a guy and be a guy, join our Discord.
Yeah.
If you flex some of your knowledge on some shit with us, then we know. Then we know we can call you. Because I also know that Matt is pretty good with Egyptian mythology. So when we start getting into the Egypt shit, might have to call Matt again.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
All right, guys. We'll see you all in the next one.
Peace out, guys. Bye.